exercise, and this is my favorite exercise for back pain and sciatica. And I do have favorites. And the reason I have favorites, if you don't know, I had a severe back problem. I hurt my back jumping off. It's squats. It's an activity that you perform every single day. So it tends to be, in my mind, the most important. And I know there are a lot of other clinicians that follow this as well, that it is the most important. We do this every single day, and we do it to give you tools. You do not have to live with back pain. You can get rid of your back pain, and we are here to help you as the Illinois Back Institute. Things that you do every day that require squatting. Just about everything you do, sitting, walking, getting out of a chair, going to the bathroom, getting in and out of your car, getting out of bed, all the things that you do throughout the day. Laundry. We talked about getting out of the car, squatting down to the ground. All the things that you do that require any sort of functional movement require the strength of the glutes, which is your squats. So to me, when patients come into our clinics, I say absolutely 100%, you have to have strong glutes. We have a 9-step process, and today this topic is about the corrective exercises. This problem won't solve everybody's problem, but it is a good thing to have stronger glutes. Typical back problems come from the discs. Disc problems will cause you a lot of trouble. So herniated disc, bulging disc, degenerated disc, stenosis, spondylolisthesis, these are all disc problems. And a typical disc problem is why you have back pain that doesn't go away. One of the reasons that you can have a disc problem that doesn't go away is what we call lower cross syndrome. Lower cross syndrome is where the muscles go out of balance. I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you on here. Typical spine, like this. Obviously that's the head, these are the hips. This person's looking that way. Lower cross syndrome is where the muscles go out of balance. Typically what happens is the muscles in the lower abdominals get weak, and the glutes get weak, and the muscles that are in the low back, the erectors, are tight and overactive, and the hip flexors are tight and overactive. So this line, the muscles are tight. This line, the muscles are loose. Okay? It's called lower cross syndrome. And the reason you have it is because of altered reciprocal inhibition. Altered reciprocal inhibition is where the muscles go out of balance. And muscles that go out of balance load the disc. And when the disc is abnormally loaded, the pain doesn't go away. This is super, super, super important. So patient looking this way, typical spine, head to hips, we've talked about that, all the little discs. Now what happens is the muscles here get tight, and the muscles that do the opposite activity, which would be the muscles in the front, which would be part of your core, and we talked about one of the core exercises is really to strengthen your abdominal muscles, which are the muscles in the front. So when the muscles in the back get tight, which is very common, what it does is it neurologically turns off the muscle that does the opposite activity. It's called reciprocal inhibition. I'll show you on my arm. Muscles work together to allow joints to move. Elbow joint moves. As I contract my bicep, as I move my arm up, my bicep contracts. As my bicep contracts, there's a nervous system communication pattern between the bicep and the tricep that tells the tricep to relax. Okay, muscle contracts, joint moves, this muscle gets tight, this muscle relaxes, communicate with each other, not through here, but right through here, through the nervous system. Why is that important? It's important because when these muscles in the back get tight, they neurologically turn off the muscles in the front. And when you turn off the muscles in the front, these muscles get tight, these muscles get loose. Reciprocal inhibition, okay? Also happens like this. Hip flexors are in the front. The muscle that causes flexion of the hip is up here. When this muscles get tight, this muscle here gets weak, okay? The muscle in the back is the glute. The gluteus maximus, gluteus minimus, and gluteus medius. all are in this point right here. But when the hip flexor gets tight, these muscles turn off. Well, let me tell you something. We live in a culture where we sit all day. We sit in a chair, we sit on the couch, we sit in the bed. And that sitting in the chair does what? It puts your hips into a flex position so this muscle gets tight. The hip flexor gets tight. And when the hip flexor gets tight, the gluteus medius and gluteus maximus slowly neurologically turn off. Slowly neurologically turn off. Reciprocal inhibition. Okay? They also call it muscle amnesia. We used to think the muscles are weak, and they are, but we also found out that neurologically the nervous system has turned off. So there's a way to reactivate the nervous system. If you've had a lot of problems and you can't get it to function properly, we can help you with that. We can help you fix your back problems. This is the key to unlocking your back problems. It's called altered reciprocal inhibition. One muscle's tight, the muscle that does the opposite activity gets loose. The goal today is to balance the muscles. So what does that mean? Lower cross syndrome. Tight muscles here, weak muscles here. When you have weak muscles and tight muscles, you get this lower cross. What it does is it adds stress to the disc. It adds a little bit of a shearing stress to the disc. It can also happen from hip to hip, from side to side. You can have it front to back, you can have it side to side. Okay, and when you have an abnormal balance or load on the disc, the pain doesn't go away. So what do? We have you do squats. You've all heard of squats. Now you know that the squats might be the most important in my mind. And we've been doing this 23 years, and we've treated well over 10,000 patients successfully. One of the things we know is you have to balance the muscles. And more importantly, in our culture, and it's worse every day. Okay, people are worse every day because the culture is sitting more every day. We sit all day long. I know this is the long version of my story. It's Friday. I'm tired. I'm almost done. So we have to balance that, okay? This is a problem. It's called lower cross syndrome as a result of altered reciprocal inhibition. It's a nervous system disorder, okay? But you can reactivate it, and the way you reactivate it is to start working with the muscles. One of the things we talked about the other day was the lunge. And what do we say about the lunge? The lunge is very functional. The lunge is functional, but also what the lunge does is it strengthens the glute, okay? 99.99% of all our patients need to strengthen their glute, but also what the lunge does is starts to stretch and strengthen and lengthen the hip flexor, okay? So that's important, but today this is about the squat, and this is my favorite. Everybody's got a favorite. This is the one I like the most. All right, so what does the squat do? Builds muscles. It really helps you do all the things that you do every day better. Sitting, walking, getting in and out of a chair, getting in and out of a car, doing your laundry, all those things that we talked about, riding a bike, okay? It burns fat. It's a big muscle. Big muscles burn fat. Maintain mobility and balance, okay? This is one of the keys to longevity. The more you can move and the better balance you have, the longer you live. This is a statistic. I didn't make it up. This is a stat. Prevents injuries, okay? Strong hips prevents injuries. Also, really good for your core. Strengthens your backside, which is your glutes. We talked about the glutes. Okay, your abs and your entire body. Really, it's a good exercise for the entire body, but also trims down your waistline, okay? So it does a lot of different things. Here's Amy. Here's Dr. Amy. She's our physical therapist. She's going to show us how to do it. What she's saying is you have to get your pelvis in neutral. We've got a little topic on, we have a video on pelvic neutral, and if we haven't seen it, we'll have to get that to you. But what you do is you get into a position where you have your feet flat on the floor, but what you really want to do is you want to, almost like you're putting all the weight, you don't want to fall backward, but you're putting more, you're sort of driving your heels into the ground. I know it sounds like a silly thing, but you want to drive your heels into the ground. Okay, and as you do it, you want to make sure your knees don't go forward over your toes. Okay, if your knees go over your toes, you're going to overload the knee. That's a problem. But the knees tend to want to go over the toes if the muscles are weak. So in the beginning, you got to be careful how you do it. But what she's going to do, it's almost like she's going to sit into a chair. She's sitting into a chair and she's using her arms for balance. Okay? Looks like that. Okay, you can see her knees are not over her toes. Okay? She's sitting into a chair. Back up. Same thing. Okay? But when you put your knees over your toes, this is what happens. Knees are going over the toes, and it's going to add stress to the knees and stress to the hips. The key is to feel it in your glutes. You want to be able to feel it in your glutes. Okay? Again, like you're sitting in a chair. Sometimes what we have people do is just have them put a chair back there. Okay, first of all, that way you're not going to fall down, but at the same time, you can get a feeling of where it goes with the chair. Okay, this is the squat. This is my favorite. I truly think it's the most important. I truly do. I truly do. I think stomach is important, but I think squats are more important. So, we solve problems in the disc. We do that, again, 23 years, 10,000 patients. We solve problems in the disc. We solve problems in the spine. We solve it better than anybody. Research just came out December of 2016 says that we solve it better than anybody. We're involved in a new set of research where we're going to compare it to surgery, but I promise you, we're better than surgery by a long shot. So, if you have a problem, and it's not getting better, you can give us a call. Okay? We can help you. What I want you to do, I think this is a long one. Is this a long one? Yeah. It's Friday, all right? We're almost done. Share this information with your friends, with your family, with your congressman. Share it with whoever you want. Okay, we solve problems. We're changing healthcare. Our goal is to change healthcare. Okay, we have a product that's better. It solves problems when nobody else could. Why? Because it's an evolution. We've evolved. It's not just muscles. We talked about the muscles. It's not just the joints. We've talked about the joints. It's the muscles, the joints, and the disc. We have the ability to solve problems that in the past couldn't be solved. It's a newer program with a lot of research behind it. It's effective. Like our Facebook page, share our information, please, because we can help people. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share that, because you can share that. Matter of fact, you can put it in your playlist. I'm not sure what that means, but I know a lot of people do it, and it's good. So share it, get the information out. I want you to help me. It's grassroots. We need help. Follow us on Instagram. Am I getting that right? Yes, sir. And follow us on Twitter, but I know you can share these as well. Share them, follow them, subscribe them, like them, anything else you can do. That's it. I'm done till Monday. It's supposed to be 65 degrees in Chicago, and it's the middle of February, so figure that one out. I may even go golfing. That's it. I'm out. Good night. Be careful. Have a good weekend. Drive safe. I'm having a barbecue. Don't come to my house, but I'm just telling you it's a good weekend.